Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is a screencast thematic presentation and recording for the warm-ups for the current cycle that we are on. Please remember that as we begin a new unit here, the task still remains the same for warm-ups. Please make sure that you copy down the question and the corresponding answer, and please remember to format your font in a different color. Let's go ahead and get started, and we'll give you the questions and the answers for each day's lesson. From Tuesday and Wednesday of this week after spring break, what exactly is the executive branch of the U.S. government, and what key things does it actually do? Take a few moments to copy down that question, and then we'll begin with the answer. The answer to the question of the day is as follows. Generally speaking, the executive branch can best be defined as the body of the federal government that executes and enforces the laws of the nation. Please keep in mind here that one of the most important things to know about the executive branch is that some people automatically associate the executive branch to being just the president, when in reality, there's many more groups and people within inside the branch. For example, key positions include, aside from the president, the vice president, the cabinet, executive agencies and bureaucracies, and staff. Throughout the next month or so, we'll be looking at the executive branch from all the different positions and identifying and explaining what they do. Let's talk about the president here first. The President of the United States of America takes on different roles depending on the situation. They often act as chief executive, chief legislator, chief diplomat, head of state, party leader, and commander-in-chief. We're going to delve deeper into all these different roles and talk about what a president does do and how they act on these roles specifically. Let's take a moment to talk about the cabinet. The cabinet of the executive branch acts in an advisory board for the President of the United States. They essentially have a chief executive who's the head of each agency. For example, Department of Transportation, Department of Agriculture, Department of Commerce, and more. Now let's talk about agencies. Executive agencies are specialized groups that oversee the implementation and enforcement of laws inside of our nation. Some of these key agencies include the CIA. And then finally, the President and the executive branch do have unique powers that are exclusive to them. For example, did you know that a president can pass executive orders, veto bills and laws, appoint federal judges, and appoint heads of agencies? All these types of things and more essentially define and describe what the executive branch does do. Now let's move on to the next question of the day, from Thursday and Friday. What are some key and noteworthy privileges about becoming President of the United States, and what special treatment does a president get? Take a few moments to copy down the question, and then we'll give you the answer in full. Let's go ahead and give you the answer in full. So first, one of the biggest things to understanding what it means to be president is how to become president. The process, as outlined by a previous unit, is that a president assumes the office by winning the general election, and of course by winning the Electoral College. Keep in mind that it is the Electoral College that officially designates who is the President of the United States. As far as salary, presidents get around $400,000 per year, and they are still on the government payroll after leaving office too. In terms of other expenses, the President of the United States gets around $50,000 annual expense account to use for travel, accommodations, and all these other things that you can imagine that they need to do to carry out the functionality of their job. They're all paid. The White House is its own privilege in and of itself. The White House, or the Executive Mansion, as it was previously called, is the official residence of the President of the United States. It is an elaborate, highly functional, and well-secured building. Additionally, the President of the United States also gets special travel perks. Expense-paid travel for diplomatic agenda purposes, campaigning around the country, and also recreation. Air, water, and ground travel are provided to the President of the United States, and it's often these vehicle apparatuses that are often the most secured and elaborate. And down here at the bottom, some other perks that you might learn more about as well are the hefty pensions they get once leaving office, additional security too, and post-presidential initiatives like establishing organizations, maybe of course championing types of foreign issues, and others. So there you guys have it. Those are the answers to the questions of the day. Thank you very much for tuning in, and good luck with completing the corresponding lessons.